Yo, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a really cool build I've been using to kill tons of bosses, and I even figured out how to skip the final boss in the DLC's last immunity phase, so there will be a bit of spoilers in here if you haven't gotten there yet. But before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Borderlands 3, Mayhem 4 Zane builds, and don't forget to join the Zane Nation Discord. Link will be in a pinned comment down below. And if you want to become a member to show support to my channel, link will be in the description for that. Shout out to Garwood once again. He loves playing with Torgue stickies, and we brainstormed on some different strategies to use in this build down below. So this is kind of a two-part video. First, I'm going to show you guys how to skip Jackbot's last immunity phase, and this technique can be used on other bosses with immunity phases as well, and then I'm going to be breaking down this build. If you want to see immunity phases being skipped on other bosses, like I said, Garwood has a bunch of videos on it. Link will be in the description for him, but I'm just going to be showing Jackbot in this video. So basically, when it comes to Jackbot, he has 3 crit spots: his hands, his knees, and finally his head. As you shoot each crit spot, they disappear after each phase, kind of like Agonizer. So it pretty much seems like whichever one you damage the most is what should disappear. So I found this weird method that just skips his last immunity phase altogether. I found out that if you shoot his hands in the first phase, his knees in the second phase, and then his head in the final phase, it'll make him glitch out all weird, and he just skips the last phase completely. Now, I was streaming this the other day, and we tried all sorts of combinations of destroying his crit spots, but it only works if you shoot his hands, then his knees, and then his head last. And it also only works with Torgue stickies. I tried Cutsmaning his head in the last phase, and it just did not skip it. Now, the ordering of this is really weird, and I wonder if this is sort of intentional, because in his first phase, he sticks out his hands with the laser beams, and his hands are easier to shoot in that phase. In his second phase, he does the attack with his knee up a lot, and his knees are easier to shoot in that phase. And then in the final phase, he kind of sticks his head out. So it kind of feels like the right order to shoot them in, if you're just going by that. But yeah, so using this method can help you kill him faster, and he does seem to be the best spot for farming the new class mods and other stuff in the DLC. And like I said, this will help you farm him a lot faster. And yeah, you can basically use Torgue stickies to skip other immunity phases on other bosses once you kind of figure them out. And like I said, Garwood figured out other bosses you can skip as well. So now let's break down the build. This build is actually very cool. It uses all 3 action skills depending on where you are. There's lots of variations you can use depending on your anointments as well. This build doesn't actually require anointed gear, but it will obviously help. So let's get into the guns. The first one we're using is from the DLC, the Craps. This one can be farmed from Jackbot himself, so it's kind of convenient. I showed you guys how to skip his last phase, but it is also just a world drop in the DLC. This is probably the best Torgue sticky pistol, so farm this in all elements. It just depends on where you're fighting is what element you want. Basically, the special ability on this is once per magazine, it shoots 5 stickies at once. Now, I know the ability says it's supposed to be random, but from shooting the floor for 10 minutes straight in Sanctuary, it seems like it just basically happens randomly once per magazine. But this pistol is very strong regardless. The best anointment for these will probably be Digiclone Swap to Reload. It'll allow you to stack a ton of stickies before blowing it all up. The next gun we're using is either a Hedgehog or a Quickie. These are 2 Torgue sticky launchers. They're both equally powerful. You just want one that is single penetrating, so no ×2 in the damage, and you want the largest mag size and the highest gyrojet percentage. Those are the 3 things you're looking for. If you can find one with at least 4 in the magazine, and then more than 33% gyrojet damage, you're golden. Once again, all elements are great. It just depends on what you're shooting. I'm going to be featuring a non-elemental version in all of these clips, so it's probably best for multi-purpose use, and I melt each boss with it, so kinetic might just be the best, to be honest with you guys. And third, we've got the Alchemist. This is probably the best Torgue assault rifle in the game by far. You do shock on impact and then it explodes in fire, so it's perfect for dealing with non-armored enemies. And pretty much, yeah, that's it. This gun is really great and it's going to be really good for our build. And finally, I suggest something like the Cutsman. You guys might have noticed during the Jackbot fight against the little PP loaders, it's just nice to have more of a mobbing weapon in this slot. Most of our guns will be for single targets, so getting a gun that could mob will be really beneficial. Maybe even a redistributor or a brainstormer could be good in the slot as well, possibly a dictator. So on to the shield, we're using a transformer. I actually think this is the best shield you can use in general for this build because of the bullet absorb. So more mag size equals more Torgue stickies, and there were multiple times while playing where mobs would be shooting me and I would be absorbing bullets back into my magazine, and it lets me fire more bullets. So it's actually pretty insane, and besides that, it's one of the best shields in the game. Anointments you should be looking for are probably the elemental ones on action skill end. So for the grenade, we're going to be sticking to a piss grenade. This just gets out more damage, and once again, more elements on action skill end if you can find it. For the artifact, this is very important to the build. We're using a snowdrift artifact. If you watched a previous video of mine about Torgue stickies, basically what you can do is you can stand completely still, stack as many Torgue stickies as you can on an enemy, and if you reload while you're sliding, you will get the maximum damage off of violent momentum. Now I'm going to be going over playstyle at the end of this video, and I'm going to be showing you guys different methods for farming each boss. Basically what you want on your snowdrift though is 40% magazine size, so keep farming until you find it. And for the class mod, we're using the Seeing Dead. Once again, in the playstyle, we're also using some super cool methods to proc this, which will activate playing dirty for us for extra gyro jets. Now, it's not required to find magazine size on your class mod, but you should farm for one while the drop rates in the DLC are nice. I actually found 3 of these class mods, all with magazine size, while farming yesterday, and Jackbot can drop up to 5 class mods at a time, so it's actually not that hard to find a Seeing Dead with magazine size on it. So first, let me show you guys the skill trees, but you're going to want to listen to the playstyle and some of the techniques afterwards. It's very easy once you figure it out, so stick around for that. So in the Hitman tree, the most important skill is going to be playing dirty. We actually use our clone and our drone to proc our class mod, basically giving us playing dirty before we have to fire a shot. Then we start shooting stickies. Now what's great is the sticky impact can proc our class mod, and the sticky explosion can proc our class mod as well. So these weapons are really good with this class mod in general. Depending on how much protection you need with the barrier, you can use the drone and the clone like I do in some clips, and both of them shooting will proc your class mod. And like I said, for a lot of the boss kills, that's what we'll be doing. Otherwise in the Hitman tree, 2 points in Salvation seems good enough to fully heal you. The thing is, you're going to be doing most of your damage on explosions, and when you do, it's a whole ton of damage, so it'll fill your health bar up all in one. And last but not least in the Hitman tree, 1 point in Good Misfortune. This will help keep your action skills up while mobbing and bossing. And then take drone delivery. We need a way to get our piss grenades out, and sometimes we're not using the clone. In the barrier tree, we just want to get to confident competence. This allows us to take the most advantage of our barrier when we decide to use it. Ready for action is great in the first row since we're wearing a huge shield like the Transformer, and then you can pick any other skill based on your own preference. And finally, in the clone tree, we just want all the damage, and maybe more importantly, the mag size. Stacking magazine size with Torgue stickies will always give you the most damage because of how gyro jets work. And don't forget to grab fractal frags because, like I said, we need to get our piss grenades out there, and sometimes we won't be using the drone. Now, basically, for those of you who didn't watch my Torgue sticky video, the first tip is that you can shoot a bunch of stickies into your enemy and then start sliding and reload on slide. The damage calculates from Torgue stickies with violent momentum as you reload. So it's pretty simple once you get the timing down. Basically, just don't reload and slide at the same time. You want to start sliding and then reload maybe a second after. Basically, you just want to build up some momentum and reload once you're going full speed. The second most important tip for you guys is we're using the drone and the clone to activate our kill skills with the new class mod. So I'm sure most of you noticed, but the drone and the clone can proc our class mod to activate our kill skills. So in most of the boss fights, you see me maybe standing around for a little bit with the hedgehog. I'm actually waiting for playing dirty to activate and playing dirty combos with Torgue stickies by adding another gyro jet. So with the hedgehog specifically, not only is it doubling the damage, but it also doubles the gyro jet scaling. And that's how we get some insane numbers and melt bosses as quickly as you see in the video. The third thing that's extremely important is shooting your stickies into crit spots. So figure out different ways to kill different bosses. I want to bring up two clips. The first one will be against the giant robot that drops the ion cannon. The way I get the kill in this clip is actually by positioning my clone so that he dies when he fires that first big shot. This activates all my anointments on my grenade and shield and basically allows us to completely one-shot him. Now we can also get this kill without any anointments by using the barrier instead of the clone. Basically you put the barrier right near him, wait for your drone to proc playing dirty, and fire your hedgehog as many times as you can into him. This way you get the amp damage from the barrier. Now the trick here with this kill is instead of just sliding to reload, notice I slide towards him and I shoot my last shot into him and reload while sliding with all that speed to get as much bonus gyro jet damage as we possibly can. So this is a way to actually do it without any anointments. And the last thing is just use your clone effectively on certain bosses to steal their attention so that you can crit them easier. Here's a clip of Captain Trant. Basically, I put my clone in his face, and then my clone gets Captain Trant's attention. This gives me easy access to get behind him, and then I can stick all the hedgehog bullets into him. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. I just wanted to share this build with you because I think the new pistol and the new class mod makes it so that this can also be a mobbing build. The thing is, this build was always possible, but mostly for bossing. But the fact that we have a new pistol to play with and the new class mod will always keep all of our kill skills up. This is just a great build to use now if it fits some of your playstyles. And I'm so happy that the new class mod allows us to use all types of different builds. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join the Zane Nation Discord as well. Link in a pinned comment down below. And if you want to support my channel by becoming a member, link is in the description. And that will help me keep putting out Mayhem 4, Borderlands 3, Zane builds. But besides that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. I'm out.